Okay.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Ash.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Stressed.
Oh,
Yeah. Lot going on. Should we
Yeah.
interview me? Be nice, wouldn't it? We've done 5 already. No one's interviewed me, asked me any questions.
what have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
You know, just trying to do a bit of this and a bit of that all over the place, you know, bit of... But for anyone who doesn't know Hannah, Hannah Payne is my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So, a bit biased to get her on, but, you know, business entrepreneur of Dover.
I try.
You try.
I try.
Well, you actually started out with other ventures in the past.
I have, yeah.
And you keep progressing and progressing and progressing. I don't know, I think you do, well, you do know, you've listened to all of our podcasts so
Yeah.
far, haven't you?
I love it. It's
Yeah.
good. I like it. Yeah. There's a lot going on in the town that you don't know about. So it's interesting. They're interesting people.
Well, I have recently, the biggest post I paid for advertisement-wise, I started putting in towns further away, like Thanet area, Folkestone area, and that kind of stuff, and that's definitely increased some of our views.
Yeah.
But 35,000 residents in Dover, not everybody probably knows who you are and what you're doing. However, the last event that you organised was very popular in Dover, 2,000 people.
Yeah.
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 But first of all, I think it's better to say that you are Hannah from the Tipsy Trailor.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the coolest little horse boxes in Dover.
Yeah.
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 But you didn't start there, did you?
No, I did mum and baby fitness classes. It was my first business that I started, which was good fun. It was enjoyable, but obviously Jackson has ADHD, so it didn't end up working out very well for him in a sense that he couldn't deal with me giving all of my attention to the class and not to him, in a sense. He really struggled with that. And being able to manage with that many people in a class. And also with mums, the numbers are up and down all the time. So it wasn't ever a steady income. Sometimes I was just doing the class for me, I think, not making a profit. So, yeah, unfortunately I had to stop doing that, which was a shame. It was enjoyable and it was nice for the kids to socialise and enjoy themselves. And it's nice to help mums go back to feeling a bit more like themselves after having babies. But yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately.
How old was Jackson at the time?
When I started...
It was a few years ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He was maybe 2 when I first started. And then I think it was a year and a half, maybe from when he is till he was about 4. And then he was just a nightmare in the classes and he would run around and yeah.
Do you mind me asking and you telling the people how old you are?
How old I am? I'm 30.
You're 30.
I am.
And you started the Mama Fitness at what age?
25.
25. Before that, was there anything else?
I worked in Audi for 10 years, 8 years. Something like that. And then I did a little bit of care work while I was pregnant. And then I was a mum.
Okay.
And that's where I was.
You met my brother.
Yep.
Yeah. It must have been very exciting so far.
Yeah.
I love him to bits. What made you decide as a first-time mother, I'm going to start chasing my own business? Because that's pretty daunting for someone who's just not long had a baby and thought...
So I like to have my own money. I like to not ask people for things. I don't like to rely on Lance for money. I don't like to rely on anyone to be able to support what I want to do. So I was like, how can I earn money and have my child with me? And then so when I first started, I did it via a franchise, which was Sweaty Mama. I don't know if I can mention them, but I have.
It's a weird name as well, actually, to be honest
They
with you.
were awful. But we won't go much more into that.
No, it's fine.
So then I was with them and then I ended up going away from that and doing it on my own. And then, yeah.
What do you mean? You broke away from that organisation?
The franchise, yeah.
And you started to do your own
On
thing.
my own, yeah.
What was the challenges though with trying to have mothers bring their children to? Was it
So
like a newer trend thing that maybe didn't work out?
So we
Had it
did
been
get
around
the
for a long
numbers.
time?
No, there was nothing around like that. But like some days we would get 20 plus, which was great, and it worked. But then obviously when babies are so new, they get poorly, or mums have had a really rough night, so they don't want to come. And then you're expecting this amount of numbers and then they don't turn up. So it was really unstable in the income. So some weeks we could have 20, 25. I think we got 40 once. But then other weeks you could go in and 5 people would be there. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that doesn't even cover the rent of the hall.
I'm only thinking about this now, but would this be a sort of a gap in the market for our general sort of public services as so you can go to a gym. Some gyms have like a sort of a classroom that's not always used.
Yeah.
So where you had a set time and like you say, maybe mothers are fatigued from having to look after the kids, or they've got make the sandwiches or whatever it could be that stops them from coming to the class.
Yeah.
But some kind of flexible meetup group that utilises some of these open spaces to...
Yeah. It would be really good. It's. I still have people now email me. My email must be somewhere in the internet for people to contact me, because I still get emails now for people who are interested in the class, but obviously I don't do it, and I don't know of anyone around here that does do it.
Yeah, I think baby yoga was also a fad for a little while, but then people sort of said, maybe you shouldn't be chucking your baby around like that. Because they were quite literally like spinning children around and throwing them behind their heads. Which
I used to put Jackson on my shoulders and do squats with him.
That's a bit more stable.
Yeah, or in baby carriers. We used to say that you could wear baby carriers and the baby could be in there while you're doing it.
That's all right.
It worked.
But you just, did you run that into the ground with the hope and intention that this is going to be successful, or did you go, no, this isn't working, I need to cut my ties now, move on to something else?
I think I tried. So I tried when Jackson was a baby, and then that was for maybe 2 years. And then I did try again when Ellis was little.
What, the same?
The mum and baby, yeah.
Mum and baby.
I did. We did it again. But the numbers again were just, it was really hard.
Where was you doing that?
I did it at R&R Boxing Club where Iceland was. And they were great with me, to be fair. Robin Rocks, it's another good boxing gym.
Yeah.
They were amazing. And some weeks they would say, look, don't worry about it. Like, they were amazing to work with, and they gave me a lot of support and really helped out. But, you know, when you're doing something and it's just not working, and like planning all of the workouts and everything, and then putting the class on, trying to pay for it.
There's extra time involved.
There's a lot more.
You're not just
behind
paying
the
for
scenes.
someone.
I don't just turn up and go, hi.
I know, yeah. So people question maybe prices of coming to a class, but they don't realise the prep behind it.
Yeah.
You know? So you stopped it, and then you thought, I'll give it another go. And then after that, you started to think, this is not really...
Yeah, and...
Do you think that's also down to just the way that the UK society is as well? We don't have a lot of time. You know, everyone's struggling to pay their bills and their rent. They've got to look after the kids and all that kind of stuff. We do not...
prioritise our health.
As you know, I like to go abroad. I'm off to Holland in a couple of weeks, hockey and all that kind of stuff with the school. Over in Europe, they have more time to just exercise and be healthy and
do things they enjoy.
Yeah, and it's still the kind of same weather we have here, you know?
Yeah.
So do you think it does boil down to we just don't have a lot of time for ourselves, do we?
No. And like when you are a new mum, you like spend your nights, not every night, but some nights up with your baby, and then you sleep when they sleep in the day, then you clean, then you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to do a dinner, and then and the day's gone, and you think, I haven't actually done anything.
Yeah. But I know you, and I know that you seem to fulfill the whole day with cooking. I've come round your house. I'm like, oh, Hannah, can I come round for some dinner? Yeah, what do you want? Oh, just something simple. And I turn up, and the next thing you know, you've put on this like elaborate meal of some kind of I've just double baked some kale in some goose fat and pancetta, and with next to some ravioli that I just made this morning. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
Wow. I like to eat good, and I like the kids to eat good, not be fussy.
This is actually something I did. I noticed, and I think it's really nice as well, is that Jackson and Ellis, they do like eating their vegetables. They do like eating the food that you cook. Obviously, they love to have chicken nuggets and chips.
Their favourite thing is seafood.
Wow.
They love seafood, lobster, everything. They're divas.
Lobster?
Divas. I've got videos of us on holiday with me like breaking a lobster and pulling all the meat out and feeding Jackson by hand.
No, really.
They love it. Yeah, shellfish, oysters, everything. But it's good because they've always had it. So
yeah, but we still also, again, going back to society, and there's not a lot of people that find the enjoyment in cooking.
No.
Or take the time to want to cook and eat healthily and very well. And if it's not cooked well, other people don't want to eat it, maybe. And then it's chicken nuggets and chips and this kind of thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they do eat chicken nuggets and chips here and there.
I know. And
easy,
you take them to
something
McDonald's.
When you're like, oh my God, I've ran late doing some work. Let's just chuck that in the air fryer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dress it up a bit.
I'm not trying to, spitball that you're this kind of like every night cooking a 3-course meal of oysters and lobsters and all that kind of stuff.
No.
But after Sweaty Mama, then name again already, Mama.
No, I just did HP Fitness because I did one-to-one clients.
What was the other name though? You said it was Sweaty Mama, then it was Mama.
Just Mum and Baby Fit. I just did a Mum and Baby Fitness class alongside. So I had a HP Fitness where I trained ladies, mainly ladies. Well, it was, ladies, apart from my brother and his partner, one-to-one. So I would go to a location, take some equipment with me, and we'd do one-to-one sessions.
Was that profitable?
Yeah. To an extent it was, yeah. I did well in the summer because everyone wants to be fit in the summer. So it was good then. But then, I don't know. I felt like I lost my love for it for a little while. Right. So I struggled to then teach it because I was like, oh, I don't want to do this.
It does sound like a lot of effort.
Yeah.
For not the greatest reward. Yeah. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So you did HP Fitness. Yeah. I do remember that logo actually, how you've said it. So what happened after that?
After that?
Because you obviously did you just knock that on the head and say, right, done with that? No,
so I worked in my friend's trailer a few times. And then I was like, I really want to do this. I think that it would be good. So your mum said to me, well, if you want to do it, then I'll help you invest in it and we'll support you because I think you'll be really good at it. And then, within a few weeks, we were on our way to Reading to go and get a trailer. And that was it.
Was this just pure coincidence you found the trailer at the right time? You didn't look?
Yeah. So I was going to buy a friend's, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted, what I envisioned my business to be. So I found another one and it just worked better for me. It felt right when I was looking at it and thought, that's what I want to do.
So just from the experience of working in another trailer, you just thought,
well, I worked in bars before. I used to work in the Free Cups and be the manager there.
I remember.
A friend,
Thirsty Thursdays, Dad, if you're listening.
It used to be really, really busy, to be fair. It was a nice pub to work in. It was a laugh. The people that worked there, we had a good time. So I just thought, well, this could work well. And yeah, I just made a business decision for me at the time that was the right decision to do.
So it sounds like in a certain way you had experience with the bar trade, retail, but you didn't really have any, or you worked in a trailer, but you didn't really have any experience in the outdoor events, having a trailer, going through all the licenses, getting everything that you actually needed and all this kind of stuff. And what, you just thought,
I'm going to do
I'll
it.
just wing it and...
Yeah. Look where it's got me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's not done bad.
I always say we're all faking it to, make it kind of thing. No, I think it's great.
Yeah, I just went with it. And my friend gave me a lot of advice. She helped me because she had already had her business. She gave me loads of tips and told me what licenses I needed and how to go about that. And then from there, I just grew relationships with the council. They were really helpful with me, like, not knowing really, which was good. So they gave me a lot of advice with regards to like the applications that I needed to do and the permissions that I needed. And yeah, it's just grown and grown, which is lovely.
I wanted to talk about the council a little bit, actually. I like our district council. I like I say some of the employees there because I don't know all the employees.
Yeah.
So it's not like I like some and I hate others.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I like some of the employees because I know some and I've worked with some. And the Dover District Council is actually quite good in the fact they have good capital reserves. They do try to be progressive. Or however, it only recently become more of a Labour-led council. Forget party politics, regardless of whether you Labour or this, that and the other. The people that are sort of working there now under Labour-led means, just for anyone who's listening, is when all the councillors get voted in the elections. If it's a majority of Labour councillors, then there is a nominated leader of the council who would be from Labour, and that chap, his name's Kevin Mills.
Okay.
So take away the Labour element of it.
Yeah.
Kevin and some of his team are doing well with the Dover District Council.
Okay.
So this is what annoys me about even the upcoming elections. It doesn't matter about the party, it's the people that actually work within the council. So would you talk about what challenges that you have faced that if anyone from the council is probably listening, we could be streamlining to make it more easier? Because I know you faced a couple of challenges, haven't you?
Not with regards to the council as such. Like, they've always been informative about what I need. They've always been helpful when I go through an event process. So if we have over a certain amount of people, I have to inform them. And then we go through like a process of how I'm putting that event on, which they've always been really helpful with. They've always given me great deadlines and been helpful with those. So I would say with regards to the council, they have been really supportive of what I've done. I mean, certain things like when I put
paperwork and
charity
bureaucracy was what I was getting at.
Oh, paperwork. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. No, but I thought you had some challenges with sort of toing and froing with setting up some events, and it just seemed like more complicated than it needed to be.
So there was one thing where I had to fence the park off when I did an event for the park, but that was obviously where it's in Pencester. There is
I remember that,
a lot of activities and people. There's a group down there that aren't the best kind of people. How do I put this?
Well,
so that's why they wanted me to
yeah.
fence it off.
But there's plenty of events where you don't need the fence, and that happens.
That is true. So that is something that we'll maybe look at in the future, for sure. But that was a small teething problem. But luckily, CK Civils came to my rescue and they provided us with some Harris fencing free because it was a charity event. So it was really good in the end. But yeah, they're quite helpful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say I like the council.
in the event thing, and they've started to put on more events within the community as well. I've started noticing there's a lot more. Well, there has always been stuff going on, but like the youth festival that was in Penchester at the weekend, that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I didn't go. I saw pictures and stuff
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
it was
I
really cool.
working.
We went to the park, and I didn't realise that it was going to be on. And then when we were in the park, I was like, oh my God, this is great. And they put so much into it, and it was free. Like, people could go down there and enjoy it. And yeah, it's nice to see people enjoying themselves and getting out.
Okay. Well, I wasn't trying to. I was under the impression that there was just maybe some challenges around sort of bureaucracy and processes that just could have been a little bit better.
There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that comes to it. But it's fine. It's just that they need to know that you're going to carry out your event safely, which...
Oh, I like the ESAG thing.
Yeah,
In fact, if you're on... one of your most recent events was on private land. Mm-hmm. Theoretically, you didn't need to go through the ESAG process.
No.
But I believe it's a great template, even if you are on private land, to go through that process and allow the council to help you.
Well, my thought process in that was there are a lot of people in that group that know more than what I know.
Yeah.
So the fire brigade, for example, they had great tips on things because it was a firework event. Obviously, it was a high-risk event. So they gave me really good advice. The health and safety lady gave me really good advice. She was thorough, but she needed to be thorough because there was a lot of people in this event space that could potentially be dangerous because it's got fireworks in it. Which, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I take it back. I was under the impression there was more challenges. And if there isn't, that's actually better.
Yeah, they've always been really supportive. And there was, we had meetings and things, but they were just to ensure that everything was well.
So now that you've done a few, they know who you are.
Yep.
You've done the paperwork.
Yep.
Then it's obviously smoother sailing in the future.
It is, yeah. So I have rough templates that I just adjust to each event. So our security always stays the same. Sometimes it differs in numbers. So if it's an event that's got over 2,000 people, then obviously we need a lot more. But if it's 500, then we don't. Things like that, I can just change.
And you learned all of this just on the way?
Yeah.
Just kept going at it.
Finding forms that I needed to complete, going through them. I mean, the first one that I did took me 8 hours, a long time to complete.
What, the Penchester one?
Yeah.
Martha Trust.
The event management plan and a risk assessment, because you have to do a risk assessment for the entire event. And I don't like to do it small. I like to have a lot there because I don't like people to turn up and go, oh, that was really rubbish. So if there's loads going on, then you can't say that there wasn't anything there for you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my theory.
It was a really good event.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's my aim.
And that was your first one in Penchester, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. So I've attended loads of events with the Trailor, obviously. But then I kind of got to a point where I thought the public events are the most fun events, but we could do a lot of weddings and stuff as well, which is lovely, but the public events are great. And I was just sat there one day thinking, why could I not just do my own? Then I've got 2 incomes there. I'm putting the event on. We've got the bar there.
Yeah. Well, it's something that's been needed for a long time. I have a couple of friends that have done, or acquaintances, whatever you want to call them, people I know, I've met, known, spoken to, that have done things around the town, but they've faced challenges in the past. But things are getting a little bit easier now and a bit more streamlined, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And they kind of, for some reason, dropped out and stopped doing it so much. So we do need another events person for the area, and if you can fulfill that, then you know,
Here I am.
why not? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got a nice partnership now with Kirsty. I've obviously,
Always going to get to that, yeah.
So we're at Farthinglow Events now. That's a 50-50 business between me and her.
Which is Greater Farthinglow Barn, not to be
Great
confused.
Farthinglow Barn, yes.
Yeah, not to be...
Not where the cafe is.
No.
The cafe is lovely, but that's not us. We're the other side of the road. So that's a new venture on top of the trailer, which is, we're 50-50 in that. And we're just putting as many local events on as we can, which is good. So
Kirsty's a lovely person. I've had the pleasure of meeting Kirsty.
she's good, yeah.
Yeah, she's really
good fun. We have a nice working relationship, which is good. I think it's good to be like that, definitely.
So you bought the horse box for such and such quid. Did you don't have to name numbers, but was it, because I'm not trying to encourage. Well, I am trying to encourage more people to get, horse box and trailer. I feel like with because the events that you've done, you've had to bring people in from quite far away to fill the plots, haven't you?
No.
Have you not? I thought you was bringing people in from like a couple of hours away, like the
We
Pizza
have
Hut
people
and
interested that want to come from a few miles away, and we have had traders that have come down. We've got like our donut and sweets guy. He comes down from Medway, which isn't that far. But most of the catering trailers are local. We try and give it so everyone that comes are local businesses. That's the whole mindset behind it. Is there's so many small businesses around here. Like our catering trailers were incredible. Like for the fireworks, for example, we had Red's Brisket. He's in Deal. He's got amazing food. We had Peck on the Go, which was vegan. They're not doing their truck anymore, which is a shame because they were popular.
It's up for sale.
Yeah, I saw.
I want to do a burrito van.
Get it. I've got a pitch
I don't want to work. I already work weekends as it is.
I've got a pitch for you. Come up. And then we had Crumble Cups, which is a lady called Phoebe. I think she's based in Sandwich, but she does amazing crumbles. BJ's Pizza, they're local. Wayne from Burger Box.
Oh, yeah.
He's just in Tillmanstone.
Yeah. That's right across from where I work.
Yeah.
So I'm always in there having the chicken wraps, Wayne. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Wayne. But we've got, we try and keep it so it's all promoting local businesses. And like Sarabi from Momo Hub, she had Momo Hub.
I love the Momos.
I love her food. Honestly, I say to her, please do those, because she does Polish sausages as well and bubble tea. So she tries to bring it all along. But
I've never had a bubble tea.
Jackson likes them. I'm into it. I'll drink it, but it's a bit of a weird sensation.
I just feel like I'm going to drink a Nesquik cereal.
Not as solid, but yeah.
So here's a question for you that I don't know if it's a gap in the market again. Maybe something that we can try and do with what we're trying to create. When you ask for traders, I've seen you post on Facebook, any market stores and all that kind of stuff. Is there any other kind of directory that you can get in touch with?
So there's like Add to Event, which is an events company that are online, but they do charge a lot of money. I'm on them for the trailer and I don't use it at all. I used it for a while and I was paying for it, and I think I got 1 or 2 jobs off of there.
Where people source you?
Yeah, so you're on there as a directory. It's a directory basically. Right. And then the jobs all come through in an email to you. So it'll be like, oh, someone down in St Margaret's wants a bar for a wedding for this amount of people. Are you interested? And you say yes or no. But if you click yes, you have to pay to be able to talk to them. So
cheeky.
Yeah. So you can see all these jobs that are around you, but if you want them, you have to pay to be able to talk to them.
See, I would have thought of a more simplistic way is that you're putting on an event, you post that event, then everyone can either first come, first serve, book that slot, pay for that slot, and then you take a bit of commission. Would be a much easier way, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a
If you can do it,
directory.
do it.
The directory is not necessarily a directory of your services.
Yep.
It's a directory of what events are on, and you can be like, oh, we've got nothing in the calendar for them, right? Yeah,
Let's do that.
let's do that one.
Yeah.
Get in on the pitch, and then there's a commission paid.
Yeah.
If you don't get the slot, you haven't had to pay anything. No loss.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I've just given away that idea.
It could work. Do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what we want to do with the page, maybe.
I think where we've got, where I've put a few events on myself anyway, when I post things, I have people take them slots straight away. But I do want to...
Well, that was going to be my next question, actually. What is the return on the post that you're making?
Yeah, we get... I do traders, I try and keep it as fair as possible, because where I have been a bar, sometimes you'll go to places, big events, and they're like 25% plus 30%. And you think, oh my gosh, I've got to cover my stock, I've got to pay somebody to be here with me, and then I've got to make money. So I try and keep it as fair as possible. We do a 15% pitch fee, so on the caterers, which is reasonable.
That's cheap, because normally it's a block price for...
Yeah. Well, I think it's unfair to charge somebody a set rate if they turn up and they don't make the money, and then they're out of pocket for coming to an event that I've put on.
And it's all on honesty then.
15% of nothing is nothing.
Yeah. But it's based on honesty.
It is, yeah.
They could have made an absolute fortune.
You can kind of judge. I mean...
Well, if you're walking around...
I don't ever ask to look at anybody's stuff. But there's been some occasions where people will give you like 50 quid and you're like,
Or like at your fireworks where Wayne's queue was like the longest queue you'd ever seen for any food truck. And he'd be like, and then he went, yeah, we only made 20 quid tonight. He'd go,
he pays me well. He's good. He always pays above, to be fair, I think.
He's community spirit.
He is great. He is good. He's always been so supportive of me and everything that I've done, which is really nice. And we've worked on a few private jobs together. Him and Josh are great. They're great
Did
lads
you know
to
they
work
also
with.
started a mental health group as well?
No.
Yeah, a while back. I don't know if they're still doing it now, but yeah, there was like a whole, I think it was men's mental health as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really,
I don't know if they started it or they were
they're
a part
really
of
good
it.
people.
Yeah.
They are. And Wayne's always supported me in the background. Like after we put our first boot fair on, and he sent me a little message and was like, I just want to let you know I'm really proud, which is nice. It's nice because when you start, like when I started business, obviously I didn't know much about any of it. And then you gain these relationships as you're going with other traders who support you. And I've got a nice little group of people that will always come to my events, will always promote it, whether they're coming or not, they will shout about it. And I think that's what it's about, the nice connections, building a community rather than building a, like...
Capitalising monopoly empire.
And where you don't want to help other people. Like, for example, Shara with Ruby Rose and Pal. She's great. I think they're great. So they come to the fireworks as well. Like, it's not we're not in competition. Like, there's enough trade for all of us.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
It's, you do it for the passion and the money will come.
Yeah.
If you start charging like, what was that one in Ashford? You had to pay an extortionate rate just to be there, didn't you, for 3 days or something like that? Now that is an example to me of a bunch of people that have gone, we're putting this event on, I'm making my money regardless. Yeah. End of story.
So they were a travelling around market that were from up the line. But they went round to all different towns and put on a market. And we were part of the Christmas event, but not with the council. We were just a add-on market. Sorry. But the Saturday was incredible. It was great. And if I'd have just paid for the Saturday, I'd have done really well. But because I wasn't allowed to just come for one day, that's where I lost the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a massive cut you down loss, but it was like, it could have been a lot better. And I spent my whole birthday standing and served one customer.
Oh, was that me and Jackson?
Yeah, you came over, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, was that on my birthday? I think it was, wasn't it?
You kept pouring us hot chocolate. It's like, no one else is drinking it.
No one else is having it. Have it. But yeah, Yeah.
It's good.
But you learn your lessons, I think. Like things like that, I wouldn't do that again unless it was for the day through the council. So I can contact them and say, look, I'd like to come along. I wanted to go this year, but it was on my 30th. And I said no.
Well, doing, I don't want to say failure is really the right word. Let's say it was a failure. But having failures
kind of
leads, it leads to, like you say, lessons.
Yeah, and now I know that events like that, you want to do the event day, you want to do the parade. You don't want to do the 2 days leading up to the parade when people are still at work and they're still, no one's off.
And how much were they promoting it even? What was their social media output and all that kind of stuff? You've got to rely on them to be promoting it as best as they can.
Yeah. And I think social media is... I get all of my business from social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've literally built it on that.
Yeah. Well, you've been prominent on social media from, like you say, from Sweaty Mama.
Yeah.
Because you were also a part of New You Lounge as well. We've missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Lisa.
Yeah. Me and Lisa and Rachel and Sasha was all
I didn't know the
at
other
one
people.
point. Yeah, which was good fun. It was a nice group of girls that we all kind of supported each other, which was good. Yeah.
When you did the fireworks night, which was a 2,000 people capacity, with the parking maestro,
I know.
that was fun. That was really interesting. Lessons learned there as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the team that we had come in were really good, to be honest. I think it was the app, the ticket app for scanning, that was the downfall of that. I mean, the event was great, but getting in was a nightmare because we had technical problems with that app, which I would never use them again anyway, because they did pay out right in the end, but their payment was like $4,000 short.
It was extortionate.
Yeah, it was bad. And they took a really high percentage fee from the ticket sales, really high.
Well, we're working on it, aren't we, Alf? We're working on it.
Do it. I am using another one now, which is a lot cheaper. I mean, they're like 200 quid at the moment for...
What's that one called? Or should we know? Yeah, you tell me afterwards. I'll look at it afterwards. But I know that there's even a local one from an establishment in Dover and all that kind of stuff. But the trouble is we want to try and create a platform. We don't want to be in too much competition, but I would like it to generate revenue that we can pump back into the community. If we join up with anybody else, obviously they want to make their profit. And I totally understand that, but I want to try and make something that... But anyway,
in business, though, you do also need to do something for you where it's
I've got my little things going on anyway. Don't worry, I've got my, you know about
don't sell yourself
the hair gel product that I'm coming out with, and I've got a couple of other ideas we're doing. Also, me and Alf are talking today, some business. You know, we
can all go on. Fingers in all pies.
We're not shouting about it, you know.
Yeah.
But that's but the point of the 2,000 capacity festival at the Farthing No Farm in a contained sort of area. How was that for? Was you mostly the person? I mean, Kirsty helped you maybe.
Not for the fireworks. No.
Not for the fireworks.
No. So.
But the question is like, was that too much for one person? Would you be able to manage an even bigger event as one
I mean.
You'd do it, wouldn't you? You'd give it a go.
I would do it, yeah. I would do it. But, don't get me wrong, Kirsty did a lot of preparing of the land for that because obviously that was her responsibility to make sure that the land was safe. But with regards to the event I did do that on my own. But she said to me after... we had a little conversation in the barn after the event had finished while I was waiting for the fairground to pack away. And she said to me, I just wanted to see if she said, a lot of people come here and they walk the walk, but they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if you could pull it off and actually come through with what you said, and you have. So do you want to go into business together? And I said, okay, yeah.
That's amazing.
We can do it. And then... yeah, that's where that Farm No Events has come from.
It's such a great space.
It's huge. It's so big.
Such a great space.
And it's crazy that nobody has ever thought of it, like for these kind of events. Like it's huge. There's so much we can do up there.
I'm glad you are. When I was working for the council, I tried to communicate a lot with the Little Father No Barn. They're like 500 acres, forest walks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's nice over there.
But they're quite happy with what they're doing. And I was trying to say,
I think
you can
their
do this, we
cafe
can do
is
that.
busy. That's where they make their money, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And their farm shops, great produce. And I always knew that Great Father No farm was there.
Yeah.
And I working at the council, I knew there was like these sort of plans and this kind of stuff. Never really give it a second thought.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's like, actually, this is a gem for Dover.
Yeah. Well, our aim is to make it a really great place for people to be able to come, and we are aiming our events at families, to give families some things to do.
Forest schools, wasn't that on the list? Or something of that sort? Or...
Yeah, we've been approached about that. There's a few different things that have come up.
I'm not saying anything set in concrete. Sorry, I don't know what I should be saying.
No, it's fine. There's a lot of interest that has come in. We've been approached by a lot of people. But at the moment, our idea is for our first year, we're finding our feet. We're putting our own events on. Nice. And we're finding out who to work with and who not to, in a sense. Like we've had people come that want to put festivals on, but that's it's not beneficial for the houses nearby. It's not beneficial for, I don't know, what we're trying to do, We don't want to take away from what the idea is, so we're just getting ourselves where we want to be.
I have tried to pass on a message a couple of times now to a cycling club in Deal called VC Deal, who do cycling events in the Dover area. They do Lyddon Race Circuit, they do Astor, Bettshanger, I believe. And I said to them, have a word with you guys. But they haven't got back. Because they run it in their spare time. They're full-time working people.
And then it's hard.
But maybe you guys could reach out to them. We need more cycling. I would like to try and do something with cycling myself.
You want to do something.
But I inundate myself with so much stuff, plus my job. I did 70 hours work last week nearly.
Yeah. It's nuts, isn't it?
And because I remember Kirsty saying about how they would like the land to be accessed a little bit more by the public to enjoy it and this kind of thing as well. There's no reason why that place couldn't be the next kind of little Bettshanger.
Yeah.
It could well be.
It could, yeah. There's enough space to put things there. We've got plans.
Good. I like it.
We have plans.
I like it.
We have thoughts.
Trailblazing.
Yeah.
And again, this is the point of what we're doing, is to try and talk about, what people are doing and how the life kind of leads you down a certain path, and who knows what, just keep trying. And then eventually you end up, in some weird position you probably never thought, who knew? You didn't know you was going to end up doing this, did you?
No way, no. But I love it. It's great. It's good fun. I like it. Yeah. And it's nice to put things on that people love, like the fireworks. Everyone was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, we have nothing around here. And when I see people, like today, I've been out putting posters up for our Easter event, and people are like, oh my God, thank you for putting something on like that, because we have to travel far.
Tell us, you've got a couple of dates. You've got Father's Day one, you've got Easter one, you've got, what else you've got kind of?
So the 18th and 19th of April. We're in April now, aren't we? We are.
Yeah.
We have Father-in-law Easter Festival, which is 2 days. And we've got the Friday. We have a petting zoo with loads of cool animals. We've got the bars, food, live music.
When you say cool animals, we talk about lions and tigers.
No. So Friday is bigger animals. So it's cows, it's horses, goats. What else have they got? Alpacas.
Everyone loves an alpaca.
Pigs, little micro pigs that you can hold.
Yes.
Yeah. rabbits, ducklings, chickens, geese. I think they're bringing some baby turkeys, which is I've never seen a baby turkey.
You don't even think about it, do you?
No.
Is there such a thing?
And then we've got some lambs that are going to be there all weekend as well, which is cool. And then we've got a makers market of all local market traders, food market. We have a fairground. We have, what else? On the Saturday, we've got loads of local groups coming in. So the Vista Twisters are coming in to do a performance.
Nice, cool.
Taylor's Dance Academy are coming in to do a performance. We've got a ladies' sax group that are coming in called the Fortunettes. They're doing a hour set between them.
I'm going to have to write all these names down to tag them in the post.
Yeah. There's loads of them. But yeah, it's just I hear it. A massive celebration of everything local. They're all local traders that are coming along.
And Easter's fun.
And Easter is
fun. You're going to have a big bunny rabbit mascot person?
We've got an Easter bunny.
Are you doing an egg hunt?
We've got primary sports giants who work in primary schools. They are coming in to do an Easter challenge because we couldn't do an egg hunt as such because the land is clear. There's nothing to hide behind. It's our thought. And then we've got to then get in loads of props to be able to hide stuff with. Yeah. So we reached out to primary sports giants and they go into primary schools and set up like assault courses and little challenges for kids to do. So we've got an Easter challenge. There's 3 different ones for all different age groups and abilities. And you can choose to do one or you can choose to do all 3. That's it within the ticket price. And at the end, the children get an egg. We have the Easter bunny hopping around. They're doing Nerf wars and gel blasting wars.
Nice.
Yeah. And then there's free arts and crafts where they get to make Easter bonnets and there's like Play-Doh that they can do stuff with. And then we've got like a book area as well. So if you need to take time to go away with SEN children or younger children, then you have a space to go where it's not as loud, just to go and chill out and enjoy it away.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to add that in on every event. So like the fireworks, we had 2 different displays. The SEN display was first and then the main display was after. So the SEN display was low sound so that it was okay.
Did they all clear out then?
Yeah, so there was an hour and a half.
When it was over,
an hour and a half between. So we advertised that if you were just staying for the SEN show, then you had a certain amount of time before the main show would start that you could enjoy the event and leave without upsetting kids or adults.
Okay. Was that something that you feel was a bigger demand of any sort? Or not bigger demand, sorry.
I feel like there's not a lot of events that take it into consideration. And with a child who does have additional needs, sometimes it is nice to be able to go and take a break somewhere and be like, okay. Although Jackson's not overly affected by things like that, he thrives, but he just runs wild. So it's nice to be able to go somewhere where we can be like, right, this is a little minute, and then move on and enjoy it. But some children and adults feel overwhelmed in busy situations. So if there's a place that you can go that's away from that, but you still get to enjoy the event with your family, then why not?
That's really nice that you're incorporating that into the events, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, some festivals, big festivals, they have those kind of areas as well. And now you're bringing that to these events, which is, that's actually a really good thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that, I think.
No, it's nice. And Kirsty, she had a daughter with additional needs as well. So it's something that we both are like, we need more for that. So it's good.
I was going to ask you a little bit about SEN, Jackson, my nephew.
Yeah.
And schools, because we've got the county elections coming up soon, and I'm a little bit worried that there is this potential, but I don't know if it is, that it's going to be overthrown by the new popularist party of a load of councillors that potentially don't have the background. So for me, the county council, as a like, I said I was going to put my name down in this election for councillor in the county election, and then I realised, well, no, actually, that's a far bigger responsibility than the district council councillors, and even an MP, because it's covering a large area.
Yeah.
It's around social services, education, transport infrastructure, and this grand projects. So I didn't even bother to put my name down. But we're also in debt as a county council as well.
Yeah.
What challenges have you faced in regards, because like you as a business person, you're trying to incorporate these SEN, call it SEN or whatever, call it a chill spot, call it a place to just go and get away from, whatever.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the education system and children right now in our area? Do you feel like there's definitely room for improvement? I'm not trying to get you to slag anybody off.
Yeah. No, I think if your child fits into a box of normal, then your child will thrive in the schools that we have. I mean, there are SEN schools, but Jackson has been at school for 3 years now, and he's only ever been full-time for about 6 months. So he comes to work with me every day.
Okay.
Because it's such a long process to be able to get him where he needs to be. It's really sad. He hasn't had an education really.
But he's smart.
He's so clever.
He's
clever.
Yeah,
he's really clever.
He's actually smart.
But he
might not have
struggles.
learned.
He struggles to read. He struggles to write.
Yeah.
And because he sees people his age that can read and write, then he's embarrassed to try because he doesn't want to try. Because he's not had the opportunity to be engaged in a correct way that would work for him, which I get. The schools are not funded enough to be able to provide that for him. But to get him a space in a school where would be able to provide that for him is also really challenging. I mean, it's like over 2 years for us now, and I'm not sure if it will be this year. We've got to go to a tribunal in December.
It's taking more time. I should put the effort in to make more maps for him. Do you remember that map I made for him? And he actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, he loves outdoors.
Was really, because did I tell you when I got stopped by the police up there when I was making the map?
No.
So I was up at the cliffs, right?
Yeah.
As you know, just for I'm going to explain to people, I was designing a map up on the White Cliffs with a compass, because we got him this little black backpack, didn't we, for his birthday? The family chipped in on different bits. There was like a compass in there and a backpack and all this kind of stuff.
All different stuff for him to do.
And so I started drawing out this map and pacing it out, and so that he would have to sort of look at the numbers and try and use the compass and all that kind of stuff to do. So whilst I was walking around up at the cliffs, only kind of near the welcome centre bit, sort of in the car park, these police officers got out of the car as I'm sort of standing there and they started like, excuse me, sir. So, can you tell us what you're doing, please? Of course, the port's obviously just over the cliff, isn't it? And I'm like, I'm just making a map. Yeah, what's that map for? Like, as if I was like planning something. I was like, no, it's for my nephew.
Marshmallows.
that was the end result. We was hiding marshmallows, that he had to find the marshmallows in the end. But it was just, the police were like suspicious of like, he's drawing a map. He must be doing something really. So untoward. But I would love to know, the point of what I was saying about is that trying to find a way to engage with children. Like, I listened to you when obviously I'm not around you all the time, but when I do listen to you talking to both Jackson and Ellis, you talk to them like they're, I don't want to say adults, because I don't necessarily, children and adults, right? You talk to them like they're normal people. Yep. And I think that's great. I didn't get that so much, no offence parents, when I was younger. No one really talked to me like I was a normal, as a person. It was like, you're a child, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And it's like, no, actually, the children are watching us and they're going, idiot.
Oh my God, Jackson questions me on everything.
Does he?
Everything. Everything. But he learns. That's his way of learning.
Yeah.
He's not in school. He doesn't get an education in that sense. So he's watching me and the work that I'm doing and asking me a million questions as to what I'm doing. But yeah, he's interested.
Do you have any thoughts on what we need then? Do we need alternative schools? Because forest schools were a thing for a bit, but what happened to those? I don't know.
So I think that there's still, you can access a forest school, but it's not a, it's like an extra activity. There's not a complete forest school, I don't believe. There might be, maybe. But I know that they incorporate it. So at the school he's at now, he does have a forest school there, which he goes and spends time in. But yeah, he's not there the whole time. But we're trying to get him into Whitfield, Aspen, because they will be able to do a lot more with him and incorporate his learning in a way like for him to actually make progress. I hope. So I'm told.
When he starts to learn to read and write a little bit, I don't think you're going to have any worries because he's probably going to follow in his mum and dad's footsteps of both being their own business owners.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully he'll be able to,
I think
I don't know. He'll maybe go and do some plumbing with Lance.
Yeah.
Just have some beers with me.
That's it. Well, he's quite fortunate, both you, Lance, as well. You're both gone out there by yourself. I mean, Lance did it, didn't he? He was working for someone else, did a really nice, well-paid job. Yeah. And he was like, I'm going to be a plumber. Yeah. And he just went out there, bought a van. Next thing you know, he's doing nice bathrooms.
Yeah, he's doing really well, to be fair. Yeah. I'm very proud of him in that sense. He's got a good business. He's got it up and running, and he's really booked in advance, which is, you can't ask for more.
Works hard though, doesn't he?
Very.
Lance. Yeah. It's just stubborn.
Puts the hours in. For sure.
That's true. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about? We could, we touched on Tipsy Trailor. I think we always I didn't mention at the beginning that the art club is now open on late evenings on Wednesday because of the change in the clocks. I was meant to do that at the beginning.
They sound nice lychee martinis.
Yeah, they do.
Is it a martini? Yeah. It's lovely.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? You're going to come back again as well in the future, if that's all right.
Sure. Yeah. Just follow us on Favelo Events.
Yeah.
And Tipsy Trailor. At Favelo Events, you're going to have loads more local Dover events.
Big shout out to Kirsty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys, I feel like you guys are going to be a gem of Dover. I really hope so.
We hope so too. We're going for it.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of support. With 2,000 people at the fireworks,
I know.
That's a lot of people.
We're going more this year. That was just a...
Oh, how was the boot fairs?
Good. Yeah. We've only had our first one last month. I think it was on the 26th, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was the 16th.
I thought you had two.
No, our next one's Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got one on Saturday. But yeah, for the first one, it was really busy. We had like 41 traders, like car boots, and the public turnover, we had about 300-400 people come through, which was good.
Parking?
Yeah, well, not parking, because there would have been less. Obviously, there's a few people took each car.
Yeah. How did you get those numbers then? You was counting them through the gate and... Because
we charge 50p, so like a donation that they do out of a boot fairs. That's
even if you're walking?
50p, yeah, and then you're in. Just so then it covers the cost of the running of the land and the time that we put in.
Yeah, because if you go to Tilmanston Boot Fair, I think you pay a couple of quid to park or something like that.
Yeah. So we don't charge the parking. You can park, but it's just 50p to access.
Boot Fair?
Which I think is fair.
Yeah. Is that only cash?
No, we can do card as well. We've got a card machine there, so...
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for people to know.
Yeah. Card or cash.
Bring your bits and pieces and sell them at farm.
Bring your tit and sell it.
I like it. What time are we on, Alf? 1 hour exactly?
Oh,
no. Quick, press pause. Stop it. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyable.
I was all right once we started talking.
All right then. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You got one last chance. Anything else you want to mention?
I don't think so.
All right then.
Come to the events.
Just come to the events. Keep an eye out. Follow on social media.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Cheers, Alf.
Thank you.
Thank you.